Diary of a Ghost Chick, Part 4. My out-of-body experience. One sunny afternoon in August of 2008, my kids were sleeping soundly in their beds in the other room. It was a perfect, quiet evening to do some meditation. I went into my sunny and fresh, cleaned bedroom and fell into my king-size overstuffed bed. Feeling the micro-suede comforter under me, I felt like I was wrapped in a cloud. I was wide awake and my energy was high. It was a wonderful, beautiful day. I sat up on my bed and closed my eyes to begin to meditate, feeling completely at peace and relaxed. I settled into my pillow and let my mind clear, something that was naturally easy for me to do. A peaceful, clear feeling came over me, the silence and peace of meditation, feeling like there was no one else around me, and totally at ease. But something changed. Immediately, in the darkness of my closed eyelids, I saw a bright, white light. I tried to open my eyes, but they were forced shut. Completely unable to open them, I used all my strength to try and sit up and force my eyes open, but I was pinned down. Suddenly, my body felt like it was falling, like when you spend all day at the fair riding roller coasters, then you go home and try to sleep, but you still feel like you're riding the coaster. It was like that, but worse. And when I opened my eyes again, I was no longer in my bedroom. It was dark and cold. I was outside and I could feel the dirt on my bare feet, the small pointy rocks that stuck out of this unpaved road that I stood alone on. My eyes adjusted to the dark and I noticed I was standing at the front of an old wooden covered bridge. Standing at the gaping mouth of it and severely confused how I got there or why I was here, I began to run through the bridge, feeling the change from dirt to wood under my feet. The air was cold on my bare arms and legs, as I was still in my tank top and shorts that I was in when I was in bed. As I got further into the bridge, it became harder for me to move, like I was slowly sinking in quicksand, till eventually, just inches from the other side of the bridge, I stopped, no longer able to move. I grabbed a wooden beam, holding onto it, and I slid down, feeling the wood grains and splinters in the palms of my hands. This couldn't be a dream, I thought to myself. It was too real. I wasn't even tired when I sat down in bed just moments earlier. I sifted through my mind what possibly could have happened and completely aware that I was not asleep. I sat on the floor of the bridge and waited, confused by what was happening to me. When I looked up, I noticed a dark figure looming out of the darkness on the side of the bridge I had just come in from. An old man. Friendly to the eyes, he walked up to me. I could see his thin lips moving as if he were talking, but I heard no words come out of his mouth. He looked at me, confused and worried. Turning around, he quickened his step and walked away, but only to return several minutes later. This time he knelt down beside me, again his lips moving, but again no words were escaping to my ears. The worried look on his old, gentle face grew, and he stood up. His eyes never left mine. Now, standing beside me, he continued his gaze, from worried to confused, like he was trying to solve a puzzle, or cut the right wire from a bomb before it exploded. or just figure out what this girl was doing alone at night inside of a wooden bridge in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, that's probably what he was thinking. Then, out of the darkness behind the sweet old man, a dark mass grew in the shape of a human. The solid black figure loomed in behind him, completely unaware it was there, and peeking over the shoulder. The black mass watched me and grew closer. Then suddenly, I was in my bed. The warmness of the room rushed over my still cold skin. It took a moment for my eyes to open again, but when they did, the sun was bright and made me readjust my vision. Feeling very discombobulated, I sat up further in bed. Nothing had changed. I sat in the exact same position I was in moments before. The thin blanket that was strewn over my lap still lay there, untouched. My kids were still asleep in their beds, and only moments had gone by on the wall clock. Confused, I shook my head, getting the now splitting headache to shake off, and I noticed my hands were feeling sore. I gazed down at them, my eyes still somewhat blurry. I waited a moment for them to focus. The redness in my palm seemed unusual. Then I looked closer and saw them. Wood splinters.